I was doing my research. Like I said, it looks like you were entrepreneurship major. You graduated in 2000, and then you got your first job at Southern Touch Tours and were a motor coach, like tour guide.
Yeah, I'll take it a step back for your viewers. Just if anybody's ever stuck and they're not sure what the hell to do with their life, I'll tell you a little quick story that might resonate with some of you out there that are kind of in a dead end situation. You know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
So I was in college. I was in pre-med. I was about to take the MCAT to go to medical school, and I always want to be a doctor my entire life. And
wow.
I went to school in Australia for a semester. I came back and I was talking to my great uncle. They were my two most influential people in my life were my two great uncles. Mm-hmm. My one great uncle was an entrepreneur. I was showing him my photos from Australia, and then he was showing me this map, and on the map he had pins, and each pin was correlated to a photo album. And I'm like, show me Russia, show me Argentina, show me this. And I'm just like, what? There's so many cool places in this world. So I kind of got the travel bug from going to Australia and traveling with my family when I was younger and going on cruises a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then my other great uncle, he was a practicing physician until he was 92 years old. And he didn't tell me not to go into medicine, but he's like, Jason, could you imagine seeing a patient and not being able to give them a certain drug or a certain procedure because their medical insurance won't accept it? And I was like, well, it's kind of effed up. So the doctors don't really make the decisions in this game, and the drug companies and the pharmaceutical companies and the insurance companies make all the rules. And I'm like, that's kind of messed up. So thankfully, he didn't say not to go into it and so forth, but he just said, could you imagine that situation? And then I followed an anesthesiologist around for a day and got to see an open heart surgery. And it was one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It was following a surgeon around. And he said, I asked him, he's filling out some paperwork. And I asked him, what are you doing there? And he said, well, this is how we get paid. And I said, well, how much do you get paid? And he's like, well, I make middle six figures a year. And I was like, all right, damn, that's cool. And and then I was like, so if you were to go through it all again, would you do it? Because I was about to go to medical school, then residency 4 years, then post-residency 4 years, and specialty school. Like, it was like 12 more years after college. Like, it was like way more school. And then I don't even know how much of that I can't even fathom. And he was just like, I wouldn't do it all over again. He's like, I get paged when I'm at my daughter's dance recital or my son's baseball game or whatever, and I gotta leave. Yeah. And he's like, I got all the toys and houses and like all this stuff, but if I were to do it all over again, he's like, I would get into medical insurance. He goes, that's where all the money is. And I was just like, ding, ding, ding. My uncle's saying this guy's saying this. I'm like, that's just messed up. So I thought about why I wanted to be a doctor. And I want to be a doctor because I want to make a lot of money and I love to help people. Mm-hmm. And so my other great uncle was an entrepreneur, and he helped more people than a doctor could help. And he made more money than a doctor could make. And so that was kind of my mission. So I switched my degree to entrepreneurship, graduated from Central Michigan with an entrepreneurship degree, and got in a lot of debt. I had a business in college, got in a ton of debt. And then I moved to Atlanta and had to get a job. So I ended up working because my business didn't work. So I ended up getting a job at Georgia Pacific, which is a Fortune 100 company in Atlanta, Georgia, during the day. And at nights and weekends, I sold timeshares for Radisson Vacation Villas.
Wow.
So I was grinding. And during that time, as I was grinding out of debt, my work would pay for school. And I'm like, well, I'm not going back to school, but I ended up hiring a Franklin Covey coach. And during that process, he basically said, find something you love to do and find a way to get paid to do it. And if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I was miserable. Like, I was in cubicle nation. Everybody hated their jobs. People are getting fired left and right. God. And I'm just like, this is terrible. And this is not what life is all about.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about, well, what do I love to do? Well, I love to go on vacation. So I better figure out a way to get paid to go on vacation. So I started screwing around the internet, and I found this school in San Francisco called the International Tour Management Institute. Mm-hmm. So I came out there. I told my work I needed 2 weeks off for personal reasons. I went out there, I took the course, I came back, and then I got fired. And I was the number one salesperson in the United States selling fiberglass insulation. So I got fired. And then I'm in the travel industry. So I'm like putting resumes out. 2 weeks later, September 11th hits, World Trade Centers fall down, and the entire travel industry shuts down, which was kind of what we recently have been gone through in the last year and a half. Yeah. No travel agencies, no travel companies, period, hiring. I mean, now they are, but they weren't for the past year and a half.
Right.
So but I knew that was it. Started grinding. My first job was at Southern Touch Tours, and I basically started doing tours around motor coach tours around North America. So my specialty was Alaska, Canadian Rockies. I did historic American tours on the East Coast, national park tours out west.
Wow.
And then as I used to move between Atlanta, LA, and Seattle during different parts of the year. And then all my friends were like, put a trip together and we'll go. And I was like, all right. So I don't want to put my friends on a bus, but cruises are kind of cool, but they're boring because they're all families and old people, and the music and the nightlife stinks and still does to this day, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I had a 375 person email list. I had no resources. I had no money. I didn't know anybody in the cruise industry. I didn't know one DJ. And I started a cruise. I called it the Groove Cruise. And from that 375 person email list, I had 125 people that went on it.
Wow.
I saw how much money the travel agency made off of me. And then I started my own company. And I put a business plan together to charter a cruise ship in 5 years. And basically my goal was to double it every year. So 125, 250, 500, 1,000, 2,000. Yeah. So 2,000 people is like the smallest ship. So again, I had no money and no resources. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't know anybody in the cruise industry or the music industry. And I just grinded, like kind of your first point about just sticking it out. I mean, no one had done what I was trying to do before.
Yeah.
And I just knew I was onto something. After that first one, I just knew it. I knew I was onto something. People's lives were changed by that 125 people. A lot of them keep in touch to this day.
It's amazing.
Being in front of their weddings and like all this stuff. Like it was just a once in a lifetime thing. And it was just really cool. So just to get to the close of this longer story.
Yeah, love it.
So it took me 7 years to charter my first ship, not 5. And since then I've done 26 full ship cruises.
Yeah.
And we were Carnival and Norwegian's Charter Partner of the Year. And then we've been in Press and Travel Channel and Fox and USA Today and blah, 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 blah. All that good stuff. So yeah, it's been a wild ride. I've learned a lot and, made money, lost money, and just always try to stay focused on the main goal, which is the people and the community and connections and relationships and
having fun too at the core.
That's what it all gets. Yeah, that's what it's all. I mean, I had a great quote today that I read. It's not about the pursuit of happiness. It's about the happiness of pursuit.
Whoa.
And I thought that was like, I was like,
dropping bombs right now. That is good. Yeah.
Bam.
I'm sweating.
Damn. I was like, damn, that just hit differently right there. It's all about
end the interview right there, and that'd be the best interview.
It's not the pursuit of happiness. It's the happiness of pursuit.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's it. That's all life is right there. One sentence.
Gosh. Hey, what's up? And thanks for watching that video. You looking for more content now? I got your back. Go to my YouTube channel right now, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you turn on all notifications so you never miss any upcoming exclusive artist interviews, Sherm in the Booth clips, new music, live sets, and more. This is your one-stop shop for everything electronic music. Cheers.